This is day 2 in a series of 3 days that we're doing on public safety leadership. This series is called the Touchstones of Public Safety Leadership, and it's just 3 very, very fundamental elements of leadership that we need in public safety agencies. So I'd like to open the floor up if there are questions or comments. What are your thoughts on any of these things, including if you think I'm full of it somewhere along the line? If you don't like me saying it's you or whatever else, I'm open to that conversation. So what do you got? Mr. Pelagonia.
Hey, so I just wondered if you could go back and talk to us a little bit more about what I wrote down. I don't know if it was your exact words, but the self-betrayal and making and doubling down on those excuses. I'm going to admit that's something I probably do, and maybe you could revisit that for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you remember yesterday the exercise where there's feel a little bit, the whole driver thing, right? When you make a decision or when you act in a way that's not congruent with who you are, you feel it in your gut. You're like, well, I'm here anyway, and you go. Your body knows that. Your mind knows that. Your amygdala knows that. That's a moment of conflict, of tension in you. So, and this, it can be in any number of ways. You raise your voice, you snap at somebody, you don't give somebody the time of day. Another example that I had from my experience, and the reason I feel like I can be out here talking about this stuff is because I made all of these mistakes and more. When I was at St. Mike's, they came and they spread compost across the lawn next to the public safety building, only it's the compost from the dining hall, and so it hadn't really been sifted well. It had a bunch of forks and garbage and stuff in it, and it made a mess, and I was so pissed. And instead of asking a question, I went in and the first thing I did was send off a strongly worded email. And I was like, I sent to the director of facilities, this is unacceptable. This, that, the other, blah, 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 blah. I told him, right? And about an hour later, I got an email from the person who's actually in charge of the composting program that I didn't know, and I didn't know worked for the college, and I had never an experience with her at all. Her first experience with me was me sending this blistering email and it getting forwarded to her. Now I have a choice. I can stand on my righteousness and say, yeah, well, then you're the one to blame because this is garbage. I won't stand for this. Or I can take a step back and go, there's a human being on the other side of this interaction that I wasn't giving consideration to before. And now I have the option to either double down and keep my ego up, or eat it a little bit and say, I lashed out. I shouldn't have lashed out at you that way, and work with her to make the situation better and actually be productive. What am I more committed to? As the director of public safety, I should be committed to making every single person on my campus feel like they can trust and are welcomed and are safe with public safety. So if I protect my ego in this moment, I'm going to alienate her from my larger mission because she's not going to reach out to me later. So I backtracked and I said, I apologize. I lashed out. I didn't understand how this worked. I appreciate your offer, and I want to know how I can help you, and we can work together to address this. Because there were a whole bunch of constraints, a whole bunch of circumstances I didn't understand about why it was what it was. That was a choice of me either. I'll argue that me sending the email in the first place was a self-betrayal because I knew better. I know that emails get forwarded. I know that I'm supposed to be there to work with everybody. I shouldn't have sent that email in the first place. So I betrayed who I really should have been. But then I had another really glaring choice when this person came out of left field and said, here's who I, oh my God, I'm sorry, this and the other. Do I double down, protect my ego, and I can justify myself in any way, shape, or form? Or Do I own my own responsibility in this moment? Right? Do I not betray myself, or do I correct myself once I have caused that betrayal? Does that help?
It's awesome. I love that story and how you acknowledge that probably could have done that differently. I've been there, and I bet you many of us have, especially when it comes to an email. Thank you.